What's good, ladies and gents? It's your boy DJ Fanatic at soundsforproducers.com. Welcome to this beat breakdown. Basically going over every element I did in this beat. And yeah, this beat has some vibes. I definitely hear like Timbaland doing something like this. Maybe Pharrell as well. And you know who I heard on this beat? Like ASAP Ferg. You know what I mean? So anyway, if you haven't subscribed, click that sub button. Click the bell as well so you're alerted to new videos that are posted on the channel. And of course, hit that like on the video if you like anything I do or show you in this video. Also drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Also, if you haven't liked the Facebook page, hit that like button on the Facebook page and follow me on Sounds for Producers on Instagram. If you'd like to hear any of my beats, such as this, you can always look up my music. I'm DJ Fanatic Beats. You can find me on the BeatStars platform. And speaking of that, there is a link in the description or coupon code, my personal affiliate code, for you to have a free month of BeatStars, the pro account. So that way, you know, you can test it out and enjoy all the features for free for an entire month. Use my code in the description. And there is a free loop pack in the description as well. And oh yeah, and prices are slashed on the Sounds for Producers website. So let's get into this beat. This one, yeah, this beat is just crazy. I really like how it came out. And let me just play a little bit of it just so you get a vibe. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. It's like a little intro and some other things come in. So I'm going to break down every element so you get an idea what I did. The first thing I started with, as you can see, let's change the snap to grid to bar. It's cool. And we're just going to do that. First thing I started with was this awesome loop that I found somewhere. You know what? Shout out to my best friend Jacob. This is my best friend's Jacob loop. And I kind of switched it up a little bit. But I started out with this. And if you notice, actually, I think this loop was like 12 bars long, and I just made it a short 4 bars because I really like that little intro part of it. So, you know, when you're working with loops, you can always take whatever part that inspires you to create and just use that part and switch it up, you know, do some creative stuff. So this, obviously just did time stretch. I kept the same pitch, 80 BPM. I changed BPM to 82, so I moved a little faster than the actual loop. Doesn't look like I actually even pitched it, so that's rare for me. I usually pitch loops. And okay, so what I did do is just, you know, cut some of the lows and some of the highs to kind of box it out a bit amongst this frequency range. See that? And because there's like some airiness that I didn't want in the loop. I did try drip, try different effects on it, but I was really happy with just that particular sound. So I didn't really do much to it. I just took a certain piece out of it and threw it on there. So the next sound that I have is, oh man, check it out. It's orchestral brass. So that came out insane. As you can hear, all I did is cut the lows on that. I didn't use, actually I used the effects that are inside Arcade, and that was with Spitfire. I believe this is the one I used, the Dragar Awoken. I hope I favored that, because I definitely, yeah, I favored that. So that's Overture made with Spitfire audio, and that's in Outputs Arcade, and they had some crazy sounds in that one. I love orchestral instruments, probably because I used to play in an orchestra. So for what? Wow, how many years? I think 6 years. So I always really enjoy orchestral and like woodwinds, brass, all that. So anyway, I just wanted that rawness to it, and that's angry brass to go with this beat. So those are the two elements I have so far, nothing too crazy. So that was kind of busy, so I was like happy with that. So then I just started adding some drums just to kind of see where I want to go with it, you know, without adding too many melodies initially. So check it out. Okay, so if you listen to that actual kick pattern, it's something very unorthodox. It's not like a typical, oh no, my dog's about to bark. It's not a typical rhythm, you know. It's weird how certain melodies and sounds inspire you to try something different, and that's what this beat did, and I think that's what it's called. It's something different. I think it's called Different Breed or whatever. But that's kind of where it comes from. I was like, yo, I made the weirdest kick pattern ever. But trust me, when I hit play, you'll see how everything falls together. So don't be afraid to experiment, you know, with your patterns. You know, you don't have to do typical stuff. You know, it's you're unique with your own music, with your own style. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing or what you hear is popular. You got to trust your gut. And this beat, man, it came out crazy. So with the kick, I actually just cut some of the high mids at this frequency range here at 267, excuse me, 2600 hertz. And I'll let you kind of see where the energy falls. And that's in the kick. So I really wanted like the kick to be darker for this beat. And it came out pretty cool. I think I pitched the kick as well. Yeah. See, I pitched it down a little bit. Remember to tune your drums. That's important. And just trust your ear how it works with the key of the beat. So I use Sound Goodizer on the kick. Sometimes you luck up and it actually gives it a nice punch to it. I don't use too much. If you notice the amounts, I think 30%. And this is actually, here it is. I'll play it for you without the plugins. This is with the plugins. And this is the kick without. So you see how EQ and Sound Goodizer actually makes it punch that hard? It's crazy. And that's without the mastering that I did. So these are the three elements I have so far. Yes, sir. So I'm sure there's a quick way of doing that, but whatever. So now I think I started going with a percussion sound. Is that the snare? Maybe. Let's find out. Now here, the swing. This is the little swing knob I use in the channel rack at 19%. That's the main swing. And for the particular snare, I think I use swing on that as well. No, I did not. So looks like I did some craziness. Oh no, here it is. Hold on. I'm tripping. Okay, so if you notice, I have 3 different snares. Okay, so this will be like kind of a gem for the video. You can layer anything. It's basically sound design. So with the first snare, it's actually like a percussion sound, very light, whatever. I panned it to the left. The second snare, it's more like a wood block or a rim shot. It's going right up the middle. There's no panning. Third snare, it's a clap, no panning. Notice the wavelengths here. There's a lot kind of going on. So it's like a clap on top of a clap. So I have these 3 different elements all in that same pattern. So what's that? 5, 6, 7. So 5. This is what I did EQ wise. I kind of initially cut the lows and then I found a sweet spot in the mids. For this next snare, I did some some work here. Cut the lows around the same area, boost a little bit in the mid and a little bit in the high mids, and that was for the, I think it was a clap. No, the wood block. And this is kind of like the clap here. So I just cut the lows all the way up to 500 hertz. So this is all of them together. And if you listen like really closely, it's actually layered really nice. I might just put that whole thing in a sound pack and just have y'all rock with that, because I like how that sounds. If you can put in the comments, say, hey Fanatic, remember to put that in the sound pack in the comments, I really appreciate that. So I remember, because that came out really good. So that's like just a little nuanced sound design. I was checking to see if I used the time, not time stretch, where is it at? The shift. Let me check, because it sounds like I did. Yeah, the first sound, this sound, is shift way off the grid. This right here is a gem as well. When you want to like move things around, just nudge it off the grid a little bit to kind of get a certain vibe, you know. And I think that's what made this beat special. Okay, so the next sound, I think it was a hi-hat. And notice the pattern doesn't really change that much. But what I did with the hi-hat, if you hear it, it's like tick, 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 tick. Notice right here, it's a different pattern. So it kind of rocks with that first sound. It's like a complement to it. Because you got do, 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 do. And then you got tick, 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 tick. So subconsciously I pulled that off. But it's kind of like two rhythms complementing each other that are similar. So... and obviously, no, I didn't. So I kept the hi-hat on the grid. So, and it actually worked really well. So that is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sounds. And the next sound, check it out. So that is the 808s, and let me show you what the 808 is. And I didn't actually, you know, elongate it or whatever, because it's a short 808. And this 808 is kind of moving a lot. Notice it's a lot of different notes for 808, and I thought that was special in this beat as well. So I kind of made like a melody out of the 808 by itself. So listen again. Goes down there. And I'll play the 808 by itself. It won't be too special, but just so you get an idea. There you go. So that's basically copying the kick pattern, but there's notation changes here, like all these big jumps, and you got thirds, fourths, and octave jumps. So you get the idea. And so the next sound, and what did I do with the 808? Okay, so I cut the high initially, and then I use R-Bass stereo to kind of give it some crazy punch, like in a low 46 hertz. And I use like harmonics. You know, I freaked it basically with that plugin. And there's a lot of plugins you can use for 808s and just to make it punch harder and do some cool stuff. So the next sound is a hi-hat, just a straight hi-hat to kind of give it a little more structure, because it had a lot of different rhythm elements. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, it's just a straight hi-hat. really exciting. Just to kind of bring it home a little bit, because it was a lot of rhythm things going on, like I mentioned before. So the next sound I have is a vocal sound with reverb and delay 3 and parametric EQ 2, and that second hi-hat I actually panned it to the right. So if you listen, like a lot of times, I just did it because a lot of songs have hi-hats panned to the right, especially like hip hop or whatever. But I was messing around with it to see where it'll fit, and make panning it that far right actually sound good to me. Like I was saying, trust your gut, trust your ability, your musical ear, and you can't go wrong. So this little vocal thing actually really adds that extra sauce on the beat, that extra sugar on top. You're like, if you like dessert, what kind of dessert I love. You know what? I like the ice cream chunky monkey. And like those fudge chunks in there just add so much more with the banana taste, the walnuts I think they have in there, and all that stuff. So anyway, those fudge chunks inside there just add that extra thing to it. So this is that extra thing. Okay, so I'll solo that so you can hear it. So I took like some random woman saying something and just added. See, you can take vocals and do some cool stuff. Just cut the lows, just to cut out some of the lows to leave space for the 808 and the kick, the lower frequency instruments. And then I added Fruity Reverb 2. Delay is pretty high at 4.1 seconds, and wet levels at 91%, which is high. Cut the bass, increase the low cut level, and stereo separations at 100% to make it really wide. And then Fruity Delay 3, I did ping pong delay, panned it to the left, 100% wet level, and the feedback levels at 62%, just to kind of give it this full echoey space sound. So I thought it was kind of cool. So there's a percussion loop, which is the clapping that you heard at the beginning of the intro, and that's the final sound. So let me play that for you. So with that little click clock, it sounds like, what's that, clog dancing, when they have there's a commercial, I think it's State Farm, when they have the I think it's Amish, forgive me if I'm wrong, I ain't trying to disrespect nobody, but I think it's Amish family, where they're like clog dancing, or like what do you call it, river dancing. I think it's river or water dancing, one of those, in the commercial, and they're like eating pasta and doing their household, chores and whatnot. And so anyway, that's what that reminds me of, or like some cool Spanish vibe going on. So yeah, there's a lot of different elements in this beat, but I like how it came out all together. And that last sound, if you noticed, all I did is minimize the lows and then boosted up the main level to 2.7 dB. And for mastering wise, like I always say, I use iZotope products. I use Neutron 2 on this particular beat. Hopefully I don't hit save on anything where I destroy the entire video. So basically Neutron 2 or Neutron 3 is what I use first, and kind of go through each module, and then I test some parameters. And usually the track assistant's really good, but sometimes I have to change certain things, but it does a trick pretty much every time. No complaints. And I use Ozone 9 currently, but I use Ozone 8 on this particular beat. Basically I do the same thing. I haven't seen Ozone 8 in forever. Let me see how it looks. And shout out to iZotope. I posted a new video today on IG about the iZotope vinyl, so check that out. So Ozone 8, yeah, so basically I use Master Assistant. and, you know, test the different modules and whatnot. See that? And adjust settings and stuff. You know, you can get lost in it. And the reason why I'm brushing over that is because everyone has like their own mastering process, mixing and mastering. And it's a light master. It's not, you know, final. And it's not set in stone. It's just something to clean the beat up and make it a little more, I wouldn't say professional, but just stand out more. So that's the entire beat, every sound that I did in the beat. That is every element, every little plugin I did. I didn't go over every parameter, but I did touch on a little bit of what I did in the master channel. And beat wise, you can kind of visualize where I took out certain sounds. This particular beat, I did a master volume fade out. And yeah, man, I just have a vibe of Timbaland on this beat. And it was cool to see, if you haven't seen it, the Timbaland versus Swiss Beats versus. It's so dope to see producers reach that caliber and have that type of energy, you know. Like, I admire both of them because I've been listening to their music their entire career, and it's so dope to see the joy and respect they have for each other, even though the crowd was kind of like dead like halfway through and they had to keep waking them up, you know. But it's cool to see producers on that type of platform, because you always see artists on that platform, and to see producers up there, man, it's amazing. We got to stick together and keep, you know, boosting each other up and stop hating all the time. Man, there's so much hate. But man, anyway, hopefully this is I said something that was dope, you know. And of course, always show support. If you enjoyed the video, you watch the video, click the sub button, hit that bell as well so you're alerted to new videos such as this. And also give it a comment in the video if you felt like I said something dope or showed you something dope, and give it a like. So here, I'm gonna play the beat and play a little bit of it so you get the vibe again, and let me know what you think. My bad if it's super dark. That's a chorus right there. I had to turn it down on my headphones so the bleed doesn't go on the mic. Ooh. Verse. Now you can hear how the kick pattern works with it, right? Boom, 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 boom. You got the stomping throughout the beat. And a breakdown right here. Gave it some space before the chorus. Let's get it. I'm done, man. I'm done. I'll catch y'all next video. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Make sure you sub, man. What you waiting on? You know that beat was dope. All right, I'm out.